Hey guys, how y'all doing tonight? I hope you're excited. I am very excited to be here with y'all tonight, and we're going to be going over some case studies. So first of all, my name is AC Ramos. I am one of the partners here at Prosperity Real Estate Group, along with Tim Mai. And we take a lot of pride in our students that we've been working with for a little over a year now. We started the program a little over a year now. Some of the students have only been with us a few months, and some, even sooner than that. So, we're really proud of them and excited to show you what some of them have been able to accomplish. So, if any of you have any questions during tonight's broadcast, feel free to put a question in the question box, and I will try to get them as best as I can, trying to catch everybody's questions. So let me get ready for that. All right. So again, I'm super excited to be here with you tonight and share this information with you. So if y'all are ready, we are going to get started. Let me find out. All right. Okay. So does anybody have any questions to start this thing out? All right. Can y'all see the screen? All right, where's the best place to find leads besides bandit signs? All right, we're going to go into some of that. I'm getting a lot of questions already. Can y'all still see the screen? All right. Okay. I think it's still good. I think, okay, so y'all can still see the screen. All right, so let's go through this here now. All right, can y'all still see the screen? It's saying that it might be paused. Let me see if it's going now. All right. All right. So, well, anyway, let's get started here. I'll answer some of your questions as we go along here, because I'm already getting a bunch of questions, and I want to try to answer them as best as I can. But I have a feeling as we go through this, some of your questions will get answered along the way, and then I can take some Q&A when we get to the end, if you still have any of these questions left. So first of all, let's get to our first one here. Where is this? Is one of our students. His name is Thomas Clark. He's been with us say about 8 months now. And when he came to us, he was dabbling a little bit in real estate. He wasn't totally out there, fully engulfed in the business, but he had done some things. He definitely wasn't a newbie to the game. He had done a few wholesale deals on his own, and he wasn't a rookie to the real estate thing here. So he had a little bit of experience doing some things, and he came to us because he wanted to really be able to take his business to the next level. He owned an insurance company. He had an insurance agency, so he knew how to run business. He's a businessman already, and he just knew that real estate was really the avenue that he wanted to get into. Insurance is a good business, but I'm sure real estate is, for some people is definitely more attractive. It's for me, it's just a lot of fun. I love everything to do with real estate, and I think Thomas is kind of the same way. All right, let me see if it's. Can y'all see Thomas's picture now? All right. Okay. I'm not sure what happened there, but all right. So there you get to see the very handsome Thomas Clark there. So that's Thomas. That's the guy I was just telling you about, who has the insurance agency and got into real estate with us about 8 months ago. Now, like I said, Thomas had done, I think like 2 or 3 deals before, and it wasn't his main thing. So when he came to us, that's what he wanted to do. He really wanted to make real estate his #1 priority. And he really, took everything that we were able to show him and get him started with and train him up on. And he really took the action and did the things that we told him to do. And he really got started really fast. He's averaging about a deal a month now, with his average profit being about $8,000, between $7,000 and $8,000, I'd say. So he's doing excellent, considering he just started 8 months ago and was totally involved in a different business. So the first house that he did was, okay. All right, was 7222 Windale. All right, I think I got this right now. Is everybody still with me? Can you see this screen? 7222 Windale. This is a picture of the property right here, and I'll go through here a few more. There's some other pictures of the inside here. You can see this house was not one of those run down, distressed houses that you hear a lot about when you're talking about wholesaling. Wholesaling works with a bunch of different types of houses. It just depends more on the seller's motivation. This house was about 80% done. You can see it was really, has a really nice looking kitchen for, some of the ones that I've seen before in this business, going through some of these houses. And I'm guessing that it did not have a terrible odor like some of the ones I've been in also. So this house was a really nice house in a really good area of town. Had a pool. You can see the pool is definitely nasty, fungus, algae growing everywhere. But it's not coming out of the ground. It's not cracked down the middle. It was still salvageable. Nice looking bathroom right there. This is an example of a very nice house that you can find, So on this one, he found this one from the marketing method of postcards. Now when you're sending out postcards, the way we trained him to do it was, it's not just a matter of sending a postcard. It's a matter of knowing where to hit with the postcards, what type of people you're looking to hit with the postcards. You really want to be a little more targeted than just throwing out a bunch of postcards and seeing what hits. But that's what he did. He took what we taught him. He put together his postcard campaign and got out there and did it. So like I said, the repairs on this one were really minimal. The seller had already rehabbed about 80% of the house. So you could see there was only a couple rooms and that pool and a few other minor things that really needed to be done and updated. I believe they painted the kitchen cabinets, stuff like that. So it wasn't like, a terribly long repair process. And the investor that bought this was a really experienced rehabber in town. So, he knew exactly what he was. This one actually was ARV'd around $135,000. Thomas was able to get this property under contract for $75,000, which was, considering the shape that it's in, it was really nice and everything, killer deal. Like I said, it's worth about $135,000. This one sold in less than 24 hours for $85,000. And to tell you the truth, I remember this one probably sold in less than like 2 or 3 hours, not even 24 hours, because it was such a good deal. And like I said, it was an experienced rehabber in town, so he knew exactly what he was getting into. As soon as he saw the property, he knew he wanted it, called, locked it up, and was on his way. So it was less than 24 hours, and that's $10,000 assignment fee that Thomas was able to generate, from getting the deal under contract. Oh, okay. I just got a message from one of our salespeople. Is like, it actually sold in 25 minutes. So obviously it was a really good deal, and that, like I said, the rehabber was so experienced. He knows the market. He knows what he has to put into it. So it was a no-brainer. As soon as he saw it and checked it out and knew what he had to do to it, and like I said, 135, and you could pick it up for $85,000, which I think we could have sold it for more. But we definitely believe in fast nickels over slow dimes. We would rather get rid of a property fast and make the profit on it than rather take a chance of sitting on it and maybe not being able to sell it, which is the key that a lot of wholesalers really don't get when they're starting out. You try to squeeze every penny out of it, and sometimes it ends up backfiring, and you shoot yourself in the foot and not be able to sell the property at all sometimes. So that was an excellent deal for Thomas right there, to be able to generate $10,000, sold in less than 25 minutes, and, didn't take a lot of his time and effort. And this is one of the deals that he did. And like I said, he's averaging a deal a month. So this was a $10,000 profit real quick. This is another member of our coaching group, Daniel Martinez. He actually, I love this picture. He's actually been with us for probably about the same amount of time. I think he started around January, February, and he's been averaging about a deal a month too. So it's really possible. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, there's so many people doing it. I don't know what to do. How do you go about this? Was part of this coaching and mentoring program that we have here at Prosperity Real Estate Group. It's a matter of knowing how people that are doing it every day do it in their business, which is what we are able to show is how we do it in our business. So these people that are members of our group here get to see real life deals being done. They get real life examples, so they get to see it and they know it's possible, and then they're able to do it themselves, and they follow the strategies that we're able to show them. So this was the actual house. This is a house that Daniel just did recently. You can see this one's, not in quite as nice of shape as the previous one that Thomas had, but it's definitely not a dumper of a house. It's not full of rats and mice and some of the stuff that you think about when you think of these really distressed houses. These are just people that really need to get out of these houses, and they don't know any other way. And they can call your bandit sign, or they respond to your postcard, or they call you back from your letter. And it's all different methods that we show our members how to find these different deals. So this one right here, Daniel actually found with a postcard campaign also. Like I said, as part of being the group, you get to learn how to do your postcards, how to pick your marketing, what you want to do. This is not his only type of marketing. This is just one of his most recent ones. I know he's done deals off bandit signs. He's done deals off yellow letters, a few different ways. This is just one that he happened to do just recently, and we wanted to really share with you. So that one again is postcards. The repairs, you saw the pictures, very minimal again, not as little as the one previously, like where the rehab was 80% done. But somebody's going to come in this property right here and be able to make it a rent-ready, clean, livable house for very little money, and be able to either make it a rent-ready landlord-type property, or, you could put a little bit more into it and be able to flip it and make, a quick flip profit kind of deal out of it. There's two different ways to go about it. That one, I believe the buyer ended up keeping and cleaning it up and using it for a rental. So for that situation, you really don't have to do a lot. You just have to make it clean and livable. A lot like some apartments are. You know, if you go into some older apartments, what they do when somebody moves out is they'll clean the carpet, replace it if necessary, or tile, depending on what apartment it is. They most of the time paint the cabinets instead of replacing them. They'll, you know, resurface the countertops or put in some Formica countertops, you know, something like that. And even these days now, granite is really not that hard and expensive to use or get. So a lot of people are doing that nowadays, even on mid-range rental properties and stuff. You know, on this one right here, he was able to get that property under contract for $10,000. Yeah, he got that one under contract for $10,000. And this one too, so I think this one, I think it may have took 2 days to sell, but he sold this one for $20,000. And he also was able to generate a $10,000 assignment fee on this property. All right. So yeah, is everybody still able to see the screen? I just got a message from somebody said they couldn't see the screen. Okay, they didn't see the photos. Okay. This is the house that we were just talking about right here on 8824 Bissonnet. And like I was saying, you know, it needs cleanup, stuff like that. But, you know, to pick this property up for $10,000, you know, you'd be crazy not to. And we were able to turn around and sell it for 20. So I just wanted to go back, show the picture. Somebody missed it. All right. And here we come to another one of our members here is George. George Maqqa. He's been with us about a year now. I guess it'll be a year in November. And he has actually turned out to be like one of the rock stars that we're working with. He picked it up really fast. He took our training and just went to a total another level with it. And he's averaging probably 2, maybe 3 deals a month right now. And, you know, I know in 1 month he generated like over $50,000 in wholesale fees. And like in another month over $40,000, and 1 month over $27,000. So he's really taking what he's learning and running with it. So, you know, people out there that think you can't just jump into this and learn how to make money real fast, you know, I got another story for you. So this property right here that we're talking about is 4034 O'Mara. This was a deal that well, first let's look at the pictures. You can see we have quite an interesting story about this house. So this house is, you can look at it and tell it's a nice brick house. It was in a really, you know, nice mid-range neighborhood. The ARVs were close to 200,000, about 180. Yeah, about 180 or so. So it was a nice neighborhood. You could stretch it. There were some even selling for 2 and a little over 2. But this one definitely, you know, it was a strong house. It had good bones. You know, it was, oh, where'd I go? So you can see, it was just kind of nasty, you know, and that's what I'm going to tell you a little story here about what we had to deal with this. You can see the kitchen was totally tore up, a bag of dog food on the floor. You know, they left a bunch of junk in the bedroom. But when he actually got this property under contract, there were renters. Well, they weren't even really renters in the property. The person that was selling it to us from prison. So it was quite an ordeal to be able to work this one out. But he had ended up giving his brother, who was on the outside here that was dealing with us, power of attorney to be able to deal with it. But the guy who was in prison selling us the property, his son actually put renters in the property and was collecting the rent and wasn't giving any of the rent to his father. So he was pretty much just taking advantage of the situation, didn't think his father would ever do anything with the house or do anything about him putting renters in there, and was collecting rent, you know, for doing nothing. So So that's the situation we were in, dealing with somebody that's in prison, dealing with renters that, I went with George to show up at this property one day. We were trying to put a lockbox on it. Supposedly they acted like they were going to work with him. And then when we got there, they said that pretty much they weren't going anywhere and they didn't want to move out and they weren't letting anybody in the property, which is a little difficult to deal with when the actual owner is in prison. So, there's not a lot you can do to argue with these people. There's nobody there that can really say anything. So what we had to do was we actually went through the eviction process on this. So we got it under contract, and what we did is we went ahead and started the eviction process. We waited about a week. We gave them some time to get out, and then when we realized that they weren't really going to play ball with us and they were going to try to make life as miserable as possible for us, what we ended up doing was going ahead and started the eviction process. It's really not as expensive as people think. From beginning to end, the first time you go to court, you tell them you want to evict and everything, you pay like $120, I believe. And then once you do that, they give you some time. You have to serve them with a 3-day notice and then go back to the court and say you served the 3-day notice. And then they charge you about $120, and then they'll eventually set you a court date. And when you go back to the court date, they also notify the tenants that they have to show up at the court date. If the tenants do not show up at the court date, but they still have not moved out of the house, you pay another $130, and then the sheriff will actually be able to go out and remove the tenants from the property. They will physically remove everything from the house, put it in a like a U-Haul truck, and take it to a storage room. They have a contract with however they do it, but they do it all themselves. So it's $250 to save the hassle of trying to deal with these people, trying to it's not as difficult as a lot of people would think. You just got to know the process, and we were able to walk George through this process. Literally, we told him every step to do, told him the paperwork to get, who to contact. Everything he needed to do to be able to go through the eviction process. We walked him through everything. And he ended up getting these people out. Actually, they left the day before the sheriff was coming to remove them. And judging from, we found some drug paraphernalia in the house when we went through it. So I'm pretty sure they didn't want any cops going through their stuff. So they got out the day before the police showed up, which was great for us. We ended up paying. You still have to pay the $130 for them to remove everything, but I'll gladly pay that on any day. And George was glad to pay it just to have them out, because on this property he did a pretty good assignment fee. So let's check out some of the details here. This one was direct mail. I believe this one was actually a yellow letter that he saw that the house was in bad shape, and he sent the letter to the owner, who he found on the internet, and tracked him down the way we showed him how to track him down. And then the owner contacted his brother, who's on the outside again. That's who we were dealing with, the guy with the power of attorney. So this one was a yellow letter. Needed about 15, 20K in cleanup. Like I said, it was, the ARV on it is like 180 to 200. You could say 180 conservatively. He was actually able to contract this property for $77,000. He went through, and the reason he was able to contract it at $77,000, the owner didn't come out and say $77,000 right away. We gave him, the exact way to how to really be able to negotiate with the seller, even though it was the brother with the power of attorney, but how to come across with the key points and what to tell them to get them to make this price sound attractive. I think they started out wanting like $127,000 for this. But when you go in and you explain to them, the process and how it works and why you need to be able to get it at this discount, he was able to get them down to $77,000. Which was, like I said, is a great price for that neighborhood. We sold this one for, I think it actually sold for more than $90,000. I think it sold for $93,000. Yeah, this one sold for 93,000, and I think it was like, yeah, like 4.5, 5 days. So that's a $16,000 assignment fee that he was able to generate. Now he had to do a little bit more work for this one by going to the courthouse, dealing with the court to do the whole eviction process. But you know what? If you're going to make $16,000 in an assignment fee, I'm going to the courthouse. I'll do what I have to do to be able to make that profit, especially considering that somebody else would see this property, or another wholesaler would come across this property and probably just pass by it and be like, oh, you know what, the seller's in prison, the tenants aren't paying rent to the seller, and they don't want to go anywhere, they're on drugs, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, I don't know how to get these people out of the house, I'm just going to skip it and go to the next deal. But he came to us, told us the exact situation. Hey, look, this is what I'm dealing with. How do I do this? How do I do that? What steps do I take next? And we walked him through. Sorry, the audio went out a second. It just gave me a notification. But so we were able to walk him through everything he needed to do in this process here. Like I said, from going to the courthouse, what to tell them, because there's some steps you have to take there, what paperwork to fill out, how to deal with the power of attorney, how to get the title company to help them get the power of attorney from the guy in prison, because that's a whole nother hurdle that you have to dance around there. And it's not always the easiest thing. But in this business, you're going to make some of your sweetest deals off of the ones that somebody else doesn't want to deal with. Another wholesaler would come across and be like, oh, that's too much work, I'm just going to skip it. For the little bit of extra work, and we were able to tell them how to handle it, $16,000 profit. I'll take that any day. It says 13K, but it was 16 because I remember we sold this one for 93. We were going to sell it for 90, and then we had somebody offer 93. And we had a lot of people interested in it. Because I think actually it probably would have sold in less than 5 days, but those last 5 days were right when we were trying to get the people out of the house. So that kind of slowed things down a little bit, and people couldn't get in there. But as soon as they were out of the house, we had buyers lined up for this property. So that was an excellent killer deal that George was able to pull off right there by taking the little bitty extra steps that other people won't do. And if you're willing to do that, that's when you're going to hit some of your best deals. All right. So next we have Susan and Steve. I think they've been with us for about 3 months now, and they are definitely hitting it hard. We are so proud of them here. They actually were in a nationwide coaching group, mentor group, for about 6 months, and it was a pretty costly one. And they were in there for 6 months and didn't get one single deal. That's the difference between having somebody that's nationwide and having somebody who's really in the market that you're in, that's local, that knows, the keys to the closing companies, the keys to how to contract and how to work things around, and like in the deal before, what to do with the court situation if you need power of attorney or if you need evictions, working with somebody who's local and being able to help you through some of those things. So, yeah, they're definitely hitting it really hard. I think in the 3 months that they've been with us, I think they've generated close to $20,000 in assignment fees. So they are rocking and rolling, definitely. And this is one of their recent deals that they just closed here. You can see it's a pretty simple, plain little house. We don't actually have any pictures of the interior of this one, I don't think. Yeah, we don't have any pictures of the interior, just the exterior. But you can tell it's just a small, basic house. It's brick. It doesn't look run down or anything like that, so it's a good little deal here. This one is another one that came off of postcards. And again, they took what we taught them and what we were able to train them to do, and they did exactly everything the way we told them to do it. They figured out how they were going to campaign. I know that they have deals off of other marketing methods too. This is another one that was just pretty recent that we wanted to share with you. So they picked out their marketing methods. They picked out their areas. They picked out the type of people that they wanted to hit with their marketing, and they went out and did it. You know, that's the key. Most people that want to get into real estate, they don't know exactly what to do because they won't go out and talk to people that are really doing it right now in their own market and figure out, okay, if I want to do something, I'm going to go talk to somebody who's doing what I want to do and who are some of the best at doing what I want to do, and that's who I'm going to copy. And that's what they've been doing. They do a lot of the marketing the way that we do our marketing here in our own offices, and we're closing 10 plus deals a month, you know, sometimes up to 15, 16 deals a month. You know, it's crazy. You know what I mean? There's a lot of deals out there to be done, and all they're doing is copying somebody who's doing what they want to do at a high level, and now their goal is to catch up to that. And that's how they started out, and they went out there and hit it. So this one right here, as you saw, that was a really clean little house, you know, would make a great rental property. They contracted that one for $20,000. You saw the pictures. The repairs were, you know, not very much there. It was pretty much rent ready already. You know, clean up, paint, that kind of stuff. That one sold for $28,500. So obviously, if it was $20,000 and sold for $28,500, that's an $8,500 assignment fee. And I think that one sold pretty fast too. I don't really remember the exact days or hours or whatever it was, minutes even sometimes. But you know, to make $8,500 even in a month, some people don't make $8,500 in a month. I think this one might have had some fees they had to pay, so that might have been closer to 8 or something. But some people don't make $8,000 in a month. And if you can make $8,000 on a deal, I don't know. I don't know about you, but that's what I want to do. So, and that's exactly what they did. They went out and did everything we told them. Got the contract for $20,000. You know, sold it for $28,500. Made an $8,000 $500 assignment fee. And like I said, they've generated close to $20,000 in profit in 3 months that they've been with us, after being with another coaching mentoring group for 6 months to 8 months or something like that without closing one deal. It's not always, you know, somebody who is like flashy or something like that. Sometimes it's just about the content. You just want to deal with who's doing what you want to do. Oh, Marcelo. This is one of our students who's been with us. I think he's been with us about 6 months or so too. I can't remember the exact date, but he's another one who is really going out there and just doing everything that he's told to do. He's putting up his bandit signs. He's going out there and talking to sellers once they call him back. You know, a lot of people will actually do marketing and get calls. You know, even if you do your marketing wrong, sometimes you'll get somebody to call you. You know, it's a matter of, it's in the numbers. So some people will actually do marketing and maybe not even, you know, targeted marketing, but they end up getting a call back and they don't ever deal with the people who are calling back. They don't respond. So even if they could do a deal, they don't go out there and talk to the sellers and find the problem. Because when you find the problem is when you're able to work a solution. When you're able to work a solution is when you're able to make the deal happen, and that's how you get paid. In this business, you are a marketer and you are a problem solver. So Marcelo, like I said, has been with us probably 6 to 8 months. He too has, oh man, I think he's got to be at around 20K in profit generated, or maybe a little bit more also, you know, and he's a really cool guy. So, and this is one of, I think this was actually his very first deal that he did right here. This one is 13602 Chimney Sweep Drive. You can't really see it because there's a lot of trees, but the property was really a nice property. It was out on the, what is that area? I think it's like going out I'm not exactly sure. It's in one of the suburbs around here in Houston. It was a really nice area, though. The houses are really clean, well kept. You know, this house just happened to be the ugly duckling of the neighborhood. And that's just on the outside because it had like a funky paint job on it. It was like yellow and blue. But on the inside, it was really nice looking. The walls were taken care of. Some people had actually gone in there and vandalized it a little bit. Like, I think it was some neighborhood kids. They spray painted the walls and broke some windows out and stuff like that. But they really didn't tear up as much as, you know, it could have been torn up. You know, the copper was still there. The air conditioner was still there. All the main stuff that you look for is still there. It was all cosmetic. And this one actually backed up to like a reservoir or a lake or something like that, because I remember going inside and it had a really nice view out the back. So the interior was really nice. It had a good layout, really clean house, just paint and clean up on the inside, changing some carpet. The outside, you know, needed to be painted definitely, which was probably the biggest thing. It had a decent roof on it. Everything else was pretty good on it. And this property right here, this property, like I said, needed cosmetic repairs, needed on the interior and on the exterior, and then a little bit of kitchen and bath updates. They really didn't need to be updated. They just needed to be cleaned and painted up, which is what I think the end buyer ended up doing to it. This one right here, he found through his circle of influence. And when I say circle of influence, is one of the things that we tell, you know, everybody that gets involved with us in our group and everything is, if you really want to be a real estate investor or a wholesaler or even a rehabber, because the person who actually bought this deal right here was actually one of another one of our group members. So she just happened to be, she's a rehabber and he wanted to be a wholesaler, so he found the deal and she bought it. But we tell everybody, look, you want to let everybody know. If you're serious about this, you're going to tell everybody you know that you're a real estate investor now, that you buy houses cash and you can close fast, and you want to just let everybody know, your mother, your father, everybody in your family. You want to let your people at work know. You want, if you're in any kind of extracurricular activities, you know, anything you're in, you want to let everybody know. And that's exactly what Marcelo did. And I think he got this deal within 2 or 3 weeks of joining the group. He went to his job and just started telling all his coworkers, hey, if you know anybody that needs to sell a house, let me know. I can buy it and I can close cash and I can get it closed fast and I can take care of any issues that come up. And that's what he did. He started telling everybody. And then before you know it, somebody came up to him from his job and was like, hey, you know what? My dad has a house over here in one of these neighborhoods and he hasn't been living in it for a couple years. It's just been sitting there and he's been trying to get rid of it, but it needs repairs and he doesn't want to fix it up and put it on the market with a realtor. Boom. Deal right there. And it's really funny when you think about, like, if he wouldn't have came to us and didn't start doing all this stuff or didn't get into real estate and never told any of these people at his job that he worked with, I mean, that's a deal right there that no one would have done. No one would have known about. He wouldn't have known about it, at least. You know, they would eventually maybe call somebody else or something, but it was a deal that was right there. So how many deals are you passing up daily by just telling everybody you know that you're in real estate and you can handle the problems that they have, like a house that needs repairs or whatever? And so that's exactly what he did. He went and told everybody, and then he came back to our group and got coaching on, you know, man, they said that they got this house to get rid of, and now what do I do? So he came to one of the, he came to us and got coaching on, you know, how to run numbers and how to figure out what he needed to offer on the property. So we coached him through it and said, hey, look, it needs to be picked up for about $27,000. You know, we showed him how the numbers came out. So he went out there and offered him $27,000, and they were like, well, let me call you back. They thought about it. They decided, hey, look, we're not going to fix it up. We're not going to do any repairs to it. We'll take the $27,000 cash right now. And that's what they did. So he got it locked up under contract for $27,000. And like I said, we sold it to another one of our students, our group members, and she picked it up for $37K. The ARV on this one was about $100,000, about 97 to 100,000. So, and it did need a little bit of work, but not really a lot. It needed mostly cosmetic, like I said. So he made a quick $10,000 assignment fee on this one too. So, I mean, look, I don't know how many is that. That's like three $10,000 deals we went over now, and an $8,000 deal. So that's like $40,000 in deals that I'm just telling you about some of our students did. And these are all by just following the steps that you need to do. This is from telling somebody at his job that he buys houses. And it came to him. You know, the person was like, hey, I need to sell it. I mean, I love that. So that's a quick $10,000 from just telling everybody. He didn't even have to spend any money on marketing or anything. All right, we have another deal from George right now. Like I said, George is closing and getting a lot of deals done right now. So we probably could have put a lot more in here that were good, but you know, I think we kept it to 2. I think this is his last one here. This one was 9506 Martinwood. He actually teamed up with somebody else on this one. I think he was helping somebody else. And you can see this house is a really nice house. It was in one of those suburb neighborhoods too. It had been sitting vacant for a few years. You can see the backyard was overgrown with bushes and the deck is rotten. You can see that the inside was just, it was just ugly. You know, had some dirty carpet in it, had some ugly tile, some kind of, I'm not really sure what that was on the wall. It looks like velvet or something, but I think it was just one of those funky paint jobs. In the bathroom right there, you can see there was a hole that was knocked out of the tile, and somebody put a hole in the wall and the tile right there. The bathroom floor had some ugly tile. But other than that, the structure of the house was good. The neighborhood was good. You know, all the main points that you're looking for are good. You know, you want them. It wasn't in a war zone. It was just really neglected and really ugly at the time. So this one, again, 9506 Martinwood. The marketing method on this, like I said, he teamed up with somebody who was doing internet marketing, and they partnered up on this deal. You know, that could be and that's another method we show you. We show you how to do internet marketing, Craigslist marketing, you know, along with the bandit signs and direct mail, yellow letters, postcards, you know, all the different kinds of things like that. Networking, talking to your circle of influence. The repairs needed on this one was about $15K to get it rent ready for that area. In that area, you know, I just happen to know the market over there. That area is super excellent for rentals. Landlords pick up those properties super fast. They will actually pay higher than the 65-70% that we usually wholesale our properties for. So we were able to sell this one really fast because we like to, you know, we like to say, you know, fast nickels over slow dimes, because I would rather sell a property fast and make some money on it rather than try to over leverage it, you know, get more money out of it than I really should, or we really should, and then take the risk of not selling it and then having to give the property back to the seller and not being able to have a win-win solution for anybody. Like, our goal is, if the seller can get their problem solved, we make our profit for solving the problem, and the end buyer gets a deal that makes sense for them. They're able to either flip it and make their profit. They're able to rent it out and make their cash flow. It has to make sense for everybody involved. It has to be a win-win-win situation. So I would rather go for fast nickels over slow dimes. So that was an excellent rental area. We probably could have sold it for more, but, you know, we were conservative about it. He got this property under contract for $28,000. The properties in that neighborhood, ARV for about 90 to 93, but people pay more than that for them sometimes. You know, we actually saw that there was a few incidences in there where people paid more than $100,000 for some of the houses that we had comped out at 90. You know, so we kept our price is really conservative. We showed them how to run numbers, and we showed them how to run conservative numbers and protect yourself. You know, we want to try to make as much as we can out of it, but you want to be very conservative to make sure that you're not putting yourself in a situation where you're not going to be able to move the property. This property actually sold for $42,000 in less than a day. This was another one that sold really fast. Like I said, this is how you sell properties fast. You want to know why we sell properties in 25 minutes? We sold one in 8 minutes not too long ago. We sell a lot of properties in less than a day. We sell a lot of properties in less than a week. You know, if it goes more than a week, then, you know, we really start to think something was wrong around here. So it's a matter of knowing your numbers, and that's part of being local and being concentrated in this area and knowing the area that we're helping people with. You know, it's all about being localized, and we're able to help people run numbers because we know niches. We know that, oh, this area is a little hotter than the market is actually saying, like people are wanting that area right now, or hey, this area has come up in the past 3 months and people don't even know it yet. You know, that kind of stuff. That's part of the benefit of having somebody that's local to be able to work with you. So in this case, 28K, sold it for 42K in less than a day. That's $14,000 assignment fee in less than a day. So as you can see, you know, people are doing this business all day long, every day out here. So that's the last deal that I wanted to go over and share with y'all. You know, so you've seen 2 or 3 or 4 $10,000 assignments. You saw a $16,000 assignment right here, a $14,000 assignment. You know, another one that was $8,500 assignments. These deals are done on the daily, every day. I see them all the time. You know, like I said, we move, you know, sometimes 16 properties in a month. That's like a closing every other day sometimes for us, you know, average, you know, and then our students are closing deals. You know, it's being done every day. So don't let people put it in your head that this market is too hard to flip houses in. You know, you can't do it. You know, that's all a pipe dream. You know, that's them doing that. You can't do this, you know, because I hear it all. I hear it all. When I first started in this business, that's what everybody told me. You can't do that. That's luck. Everybody's getting lucky. Those guys right there, nobody's going to sell their house for 40,000, 50 or 40%, 50%, 30%. And it's not true. They don't believe it. And if they don't believe it, they're going to try to make you believe it. And that's what you don't want. Don't believe what everybody else believes. You know, believe what you want to believe. Believe in yourself. You know, so that's what we tell everybody here in our group, you know, is like these deals are done every day. We do them. You can do them. So again, that's those were members of our Prosperity Real Estate Group coaching and mentoring program. We have a gold membership program, but now I want to take on some questions now. So I got a lot of questions. So I'm going to say, if you have a question right now, put it in so it can come up fresh so I can be able to see the questions, because like we got so many questions on this. There's like no way I could go through all those. It's like there's just so many of them. So, okay, a question is, how can I become a member? Okay, first question, how can I become a member? Well, first of all, there's 2 different things you can do. Like I said, there's our Prosperity Real Estate Group Gold membership, and that is I'll go through some of that right now with you right here. That's our Prosperity Real Estate Gold membership, and as part of that, you get, you know, the 4 pillars of real estate financial freedom are, you know, first of all, wholesaling for fast cash, because that's where you're going to make your fast cash. That's a great way to get started. The second is rehabbing for big bucks. That's where that's where you graduate to, and you're going to start doing rehabbing, making a little bit bigger checks. You know, that's, you know, a little bit more profitable sometimes. Like in my case, I'd rather do a lot more wholesaling and deal with less contractors and rehabbing, but it's all depending on how you want to do it. So, but rehabbing is, you know, I do rehabs. I've done rehabs in the past. I've done a lot of them. I've done a lot of landlording. It's all part of it. My favorite just happens to be wholesaling. You'll also learn rentals for cash flow, private money, so you can have unlimited cash to be able to do, either you want to do flipping, like fast flipping, like just fix them up and sell them, or you want to buy them and hold them for rental properties. You'll be able to learn that right there. Unlimited cash is great no matter what part of the business you're doing. You get monthly training and case study workshops. That right there is worth $1,000. You get audio recordings of our seminars, which is a value of $97 each just for the recordings, because some of the seminars are, $997. Like we just did one recently that was $997 a head, because the information is it's just so much information. We give away so much that, at these seminars, that there's so much value in it. And you get a recording of all of these seminars, which are valued at $97 each. You get 50% off of our live seminars, which again, I said we just had one that was $1,000 a head. You get an instant deal analyzer, which is a software that will help you analyze some of your deals and how to, figure out what the deal is like. You will get an instant rehab estimator, which is valued at $500. You get to use that. You get an instant value estimator, which is an excellent software that we've been able to put together for you, and it pulls some numbers in and helps you come out with an estimate of value for your property that you're looking at. You get an instant owner finder, which is a way to track down. This is how we track down some of the vacant house owners that we go after. This tool right here has helped so much, because some of the best deals you're going to find are going to be the deals that other people can't find the owner for. And you get access to that as part of the gold membership. That value is $500. You get the deal matrix video, which shows you how to break down different deals. Like, okay, this deal will be better for a wholesale. This deal might be a great rehab. Maybe I should try to do a landlord deal with this one, or keep it as a rental, or whatever the situation might be. That video right there is so valuable, and we modestly valued that one at $97. You get the contract matrix, which shows you, it's kind of like the deal matrix, like which deal do you need to do? Do you need to do subject to? Do you need to do this, that? This is the same thing, but with the contracts. Do you need to do a subject to contract? Do you need to do a wholesale contract? Are you going to buy this one? So what kind of contract do you need? That value is again $97 for that. You get copies of our contracts and our forms that we use in our business every day. Like I said, we're doing 16 deals a month sometimes. Our students are doing deals every day. That value right there is $1,000. So altogether, the total value of what we're offering in the gold membership package alone is $5,291 plus a $1,997 per year fee that some people are charging to be members of their packages that are very similar. But right now, we're actually having a launch special for this. So it's only $97 a month. Or if you want to pay a one-time fee of $9.97, you'll actually get 2 months free. So, that's a great deal in itself. But tonight, for this special, for this case study webinar, we might extend it, I'll see. But tonight's special is $1 for a 30-day trial, and then it's $97 a month after that. So take it for a test spin. Get in there. Check out the deal matrix. Check out the contract matrix. Check out the forms that we have. Check out everything that it has. Kick the tires. Take it for a run. See if you like it. See if you're able to track down some owners on some properties that are vacant that you've been trying to track down. It's $1. So you can't beat that. Tonight's special bonus. I wasn't so sure about the special bonuses to throw in here, but Tim was like, hey, let's give it to him. So one of the bonuses tonight, the deal is, the first bonus is for $1, 30-day trial. You get to test drive everything. The second bonus is wholesaling for fast cash seminar online training. That's valued at $197. That we actually sell those DVDs and audio recordings for $197. That will be thrown in, and we will put that on the website for you if you get on there tonight. Bonus number 3 is a do a deal in 30-day challenge. That's valued at $1,000 because we try to lead you through. We want you to get a deal done in the first 30 days. So that's it for the Prosperity Coaching membership group right there. That's for the gold membership. You can actually go sign up right now at prosperitygroup.com/membership. And, let me try to get some of these questions for you now that you've heard all that. So there's a question here. How do I locate and find the vacant properties? Well, like I just said, as part of this gold membership right here, you will get the owner finder software, so you can go in there and try to track down some of the owners of the properties you're looking for. Again, some of our sweetest deals have come from having to find the owner of a vacant property that's not on the CAD, on the county appraisal district. Because if it was just on the county appraisal district, other people would be doing it. Other people would jump on there and say, oh, that's the owner, and then call them or send them a letter or whatever. The ones that are harder to find are always going to be your sweeter deals. Matter of fact, we had one like that not too long ago. We made a $40,000 profit on it in less than 8 minutes because no one else knew how to contact the owner of this property. We had to do some tracking and stuff, but by the time we found them and we negotiated with them, when we got the got the property under contract, we sent it out the next morning to our buyers and were able to flip it for a $40,000 profit in 8 minutes. And that's because no one else knew how to find that deal. It was a gem in the middle of one of the hottest neighborhoods in Houston. So that's how you locate them, is we use the property finder to find the owners of these vacant houses. Another question, how do I become a member? How do I become a member? Okay, those obviously right there I just told you, that's the prosperitygroup.com/membership. Where's the ice cream? Oh, man. All right. Well, if you become a member, we might get you some ice cream. Where did they get the money to buy the houses? Okay. I am going to assume that you mean when you say where did they get the money to buy the houses, where did they get the money to buy the house for the original purchase, like before they wholesaled it? If that is the question, you don't need money to wholesale a house. You are actually assigning the contract. So all those profits that I showed you in the case studies, they were actually assignment profits. They were assignment fees. So that is where you don't actually buy the house. You're just assigning your rights to the contract you have on that house for a fee. And all those profits that I showed you, the 14,000, the 16,000, the 10,000s, the 8,500, those are all what you would consider, what you would call assignment fees. So that they didn't actually flip the house, they flipped the paper. And that's one of the things we show people how to do, is flip the paper. If you mean where did the buyers get the money to buy the houses from the members that sold the properties, a lot of them used private money. And some of them actually learned through our course how to get the private money to use to buy the houses. Okay. Another question here. How do we get into the coaching program? Okay. The coaching program, that is more of the membership program. You can get in there for the $1 right now and get all the software. You get the videos. You get everything included, for $1 test drive and $97 a month, which is totally worth it. The coaching program is a little bit different. It's by application only. So you would have to send an email to support@prosperitygroup.com. And then from that point, we would be able to set up a consultation with you, which is about a 30-minute consultation that you would be set up with one of our members here, like maybe myself or Tim, or mostly myself or Tim, for a consultation to see if you you fill up the application. And we don't accept everybody in that program because it's really a time-intensive, hand-holding kind of program. So it's really, you have to put out the application. So you can go to send an email to support@prosperitygroup.com if you're interested in coming in for a 30-minute consultation and filling out the application, and we can see, if you're a go-getter, we're looking for go-getters. We're looking for people who are going to take this and run with it like the members I just showed you. So that's kind of what we're looking for in the application process and stuff like that. People that are going to take what we're showing them and make it happen. If you're that kind of person, you can make things happen, and you take coaching and you're like, man, all I got to do is hear it and I got to know it. And if I've got the people to hold my hand, I can make it happen. Then you're probably the person that could get into that coaching program. So, and it says, do you split the assignment fees with your students? On some, we do split the assignment fees. Usually, it depends on the deal. You know, it depends if they want us to help them sell it to our list or if they sell it on their own. It all depends. You know, there's different things for that. If we do split it, usually it's a 50-50 split if we sell it for them or something like that. Okay, what is the difference between investing and wholesaling? All right, so the difference between investing and wholesaling, I mean, I consider it all investing. Because you're putting your money into marketing to get these deals. And when the deals come out of your marketing, you're investing in that deal. So you're investing in the marketing more than investing in the actual property. That's the difference between wholesaling and investing. Because wholesaling, you never really buy the property. In investing, where what most people consider classic investing is where you buy the property, you either hold it or you fix it up and sell it. And then in wholesaling, you're never really owning anything. You're charging a fee for finding the property for them. But, you know, to me, it's investing because, you know, on a good month, we can generate $100,000 in profit from just wholesaling. You know, and I know some rehabbers that don't generate $100,000 a month. You know, so you tell me what you consider investing. I consider it making money. So, you know, you consider it investing or wholesaling or whatever you want. I consider it making money. Okay, another question is, after purchase, utilities need to be transferred to new owner's name for rehab purchases, right? Yes. I mean, obviously, when you take, like if you're going to rehab it and you close on it and you take possession at the title company, then you are the new owner and you have the utilities turned over to your name, and that's where and then you go on for the rehab from there. So it's best to set up, like whenever I do a rehab, I make sure all my utilities are going to be turned on, like even sometimes like a day before the closing, just to make sure that the utilities are on, because my goal is to get my crew in there rehabbing the property the day after closing. You know, sometimes the day of closing if we can close it early enough or if it's planned out good enough. But usually the day after closing, I want somebody in there working on that property. Because if you're using private funds to buy the property, that's interest that you're paying for that day. So I don't want to pay for a day that's not having some work accomplished on it. So yes, I would definitely make sure the utilities are transferred, you know, the day of, the day before, or at least the day after, so you can get your guys in there the day after, preferably at least by the day of closing. Okay, company website, please. Okay, our website is prosperitygroup.com. If you're looking to sign up for the membership, it is prosperitygroup.com/membership. I'm sorry, guys, if I'm taking a little time here. I'm trying to catch up with all these questions. Is it only for Houston investors? Can San Antonio investors participate? We are based in Houston. I've done a few things in San Antonio, but my main area of expertise and where I concentrate a lot of my investing is in Houston. Texas is San Antonio is a very similar market to Houston. So if you want to learn the techniques, they will still work in San Antonio. I personally am concentrated in Houston. But if you're in San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, in the Texplex area, Galveston, that kind of stuff, a lot of the areas in Texas are very similar. All right. How would this work if you live outside of Houston? I live in San Antonio. Okay. Does the membership program still work for it? Yeah. Okay. Same question again. Sorry. But it's a different person. But yeah, definitely. Like I just said, a lot of the Texas areas like Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, obviously they have a lot of the same kind of the same situations. A matter of fact, if you read some of the economists' predictions, Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, Houston, they are projected to be some of the top economic cities for the next 25 years because, you know, Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, they're close to Houston. They obviously have a lot of stuff going on their own too. A lot of businesses are coming down to Texas and expanding because we have so much room. We have a port that's in Houston that's really nearby, but it's going to, it all expands. You have oil companies coming down and setting up shop. So they are definitely projected to be some of the top economic cities for the next 25 years. So, all of Texas is really hot right now, especially all those cities that we just mentioned. Again, is it for Houston investors only? No, like I just said, if you're in Texas, works out great. Do you pay earnest money? We do not put earnest money down on any property that we're doing in my personal company and mine and Tim's company. We don't put earnest money up. A lot of people believe you have to put earnest money up for some kind of consideration, which technically in the state of Texas, legally, the purchase price is considered the consideration. So if you're putting, I'm buying it for $50,000 cash and I'm putting $0 earnest money, it is still a legitimate legal binding contract in the state of Texas, even if you have no earnest money. And we will if we have to. I try, if they want earnest money, I'll say, well, look, I'll give you $200 or $500. I try to keep it no more than that, but I don't even remember the last time I had to put earnest money on a property. Is there a code to sign up? It's charging the $97 membership to sign up. It should. I do not know. I don't think it was supposed to have a membership code. Let me see if I see anything. I'll check on that. Let me see if I can find that out by the time we finish this real quick. All right. So I just sent a text message. I'm seeing if I can find out if there's a code for that. Is there a code? So I'm going to try to find that up by the time we get off here. Does it help to have a real estate license or better not to have a license? I personally had a real estate license when I first started wholesaling houses. It didn't make that much of a difference to me. It did not make that much of a difference to me because I found a way to put it in my contract. I use a one-page contract. In one of the, I just added a bulleted line that said, buyer is a real estate licensee in the state of Texas, and that's how I worded it. And it gave me no issues. I was disclosing it, and it didn't bother me. I now do not have a license because I just didn't want to deal with the liability of having a license and having to disclose it. But I never had anybody come back to me and say, oh, I'm not selling you my house because you have a license or because you're a realtor. The next one, what does flipping paper mean? Okay, flipping paper is like when you say flipping a house, a lot of people are like, oh, wholesalers aren't house flippers because like I say all the time, oh, look, I flipped this house, I flipped that house. And then somebody who wants to really be technical about it is like, well, you didn't flip the house, you flipped the paper. So what I did is I got a contract, and then I sold that contract, and I didn't sell the house. So when I make say I make $16,000 on an assignment, I'm assigning my rights to the original contract for $16,000 to the new buyer. So I flipped them the contract. I didn't really flip them the house. Now they have to go through and buy the house. They have to finish purchasing the house, and it's theirs. So I didn't technically flip the house. I flipped the paper. So it's just a technical term. I say I flipped this house, I flipped that house. But if somebody wants to be technical and call me out on it, then they'll say, oh, you didn't really flip that house, you flipped the paper. And I'll say, well, whatever you call it, I got paid. But that's what flipping paper means. Is like people want to be technical, they're going to say you're flipping paper, you're not flipping the house. What's the difference between the coaching and the membership programs? The membership program is the do-it-yourself version. You get all access to videos and seminars, and you get to take all the information in. You get to study it. You get the deal matrix, the contract matrix. You get all the tools and stuff that you need to do the business. The coaching, because and that's the one that needs the application. It's the reason it's application is, again, because we're looking for go-getters, people that'll be good for the program, and because we have to put a lot of time and effort into that. We're not somebody that's going to say, oh, read this book and then go figure it out. We actually will help you work through your issues. Well, if you come across a problem that you're having trouble with, we're going to take you by the hand. We're going to walk you through getting that situation solved. And that's what we did with a lot of our coaching students is if they have an issue, like we walk them through setting up their marketing campaigns. We tell them how to do their marketing campaigns, who to do the marketing campaigns to. The membership has a lot of the same information, but you have to listen to the seminar, listen to the videos. So it's like a do-it-yourself version or the hand-holding, very intensive kind of program. Okay, so next question is, what is probate listing and what kind of mail system will you send the executor? How do you send multiple letters and software do you use? Okay, there's like 3 questions in there. So what is a probate listing? A probate listing is when somebody passes away and they leave their property and belongings to an executor. That's called probate. And they go through the probate system of, probating the will, and the judge will probate the will and give the rights to the executor of the will to sell the property or sell the house. That is done through the courthouse, and then what kind of mail system will you send the executor? A letter. We send them a letter, just like, a lot of other different kind of marketing. Instead of a yellow letter, we use a white typed letter, and, and we send it to the executor, and we're like, hey, our condolences for your loss. We're interested in a house in this area. If you need our help in anything, liquidating the property, we can help, so on and so on. You have to be gentle in those situations. So be gentle if you're dealing with somebody in that situation. How do you send multiple letters, and what software do you use? I used FreedomSoft. I use FreedomSoft to run my business. I've used it to run my business for years. I love it. Some people don't, but I have no complaints and have generated over $1 million in profit since using FreedomSoft. So, that's me. Other people don't like it. But then again, I know lots of people who love it. Okay. Is the membership for a year or is it month to month? The $97 a month is the $1.97 a month, and there is no code. If you go through the process, it should give you the first month for $1. It's just letting you know that it's $97 a month. But if it does not, send an email to support@prosperitygroup.com. But it should only charge you $1. It may say $97, but it should go through and do the $1 thing. Okay, and so the membership is $97 a month, month to month. And if you pay for 1 year up front, you get 2 months free. So you save like $200. So, and that's the $997 one-time payment, and you get a year of membership for that. And along with being a member there, you get a live meeting training once a month. So you get to come meet with us once a month to have a live session where we actually work with you and give you some training. So not only do you get access to all the stuff online, you get access to us live once a month where we will train you, and we will train you on different subjects, but you actually get live training for that. So, there's nobody else that does that for $97 a month, where you get access to all the tools that we're offering, and you get a once a month meeting. The big difference between coaching and membership programs. Again, coaching is very handheld, intensive. You're learning from people that do it every day. You're getting handheld. The membership program is, online, listening to seminars, coaching programs through the internet, using the internet tools, and again, the once a month live meeting. Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you so much for that. Um, okay, if you have an inactive real estate license, should you still disclose it? If it's inactive, you do not have to disclose it. If it's active, you have to disclose it. Okay. Another question is, if you sign up for the gold and pay $97 a month, can you cancel after a couple months and or at any time if you sign up for month to month? Okay, hang on, okay, if you sign up for gold and pay $97 a month, can you cancel after a couple months and or any time if you sign up for month to month, you can cancel at any time. Yes, definitely. Oh, it's Shirley and Jesse. Hey, how y'all doing? I'd like to set up a live meeting. Okay, we can contact Uvia or Prosperity Group, support at Prosperity Group, and we will definitely okay, 7-9. No, the live meeting is the one that we do, like the one that y'all came to last month. You were actually there. The one like where I did the training. So yeah, but if I think I understand your question. So if that's what your question is, it's the one that y'all were there. You showed up and then Jesse showed up a little bit later. Okay. The next question is, how much do you charge for the coaching program? That you have to go through the application process for that and talk to like either myself or Tim in person. It's different. There's a couple different levels, but you have to apply for that and see if you get accepted. Which shop in Houston sells bandit signs and door hangers? Door hangers, I am not so sure about. I haven't used door hangers a lot. I've used flyers because they're cheaper and just I've paid people to go door to door and put them up. And you can usually get like 5,000 for like $30 or less. Usually at print shops because you can just get them printed up real cheap. And most of them do that. For bandit signs, there is oh man, what's it called? It's called Reese's Sign Supply, and it's downtown by the Dynamo Stadium. I do not know the exact address. I just know how to get there, and my guys know how to go pick them up. So it's Reese's Sign Supply, and it's downtown by the Dynamo Stadium. All right. Okay, I'm trying to catch up with the questions, guys, so please bear with me. I'm sorry if I'm taking a little time. The monthly live sessions with you and Tim, what do you usually hold them on Friday? It's usually on a Wednesday. It's actually always on a Wednesday. Do you get good results with yellow letters? I get good results with everything because I've been doing it so long. I know what I'm going for, where I'm aiming at, and who I'm trying to hit. So I get good results off yellow letters, but I also get good results off of postcards. I get good results off of bandit signs. I get good results off of Craigslist. I get good results off of other internet marketing. It's a matter of trial and error. I've been doing this business since 2002. I've been wholesaling. I actually started rehabbing in 2002 and found out about wholesaling in 2004. And wholesaling is mostly a marketing business. And when I found out about wholesaling, and I've been working on it so long, I've gotten really good at marketing. That's really my specialty. Are your yellow letters printed or handwritten? It is handwritten and then copied onto other yellow letters, so it looks like it's handwritten. It's actually handwritten the first time, and then it's copied, so it looks very handwritten. Where do you get yellow letters? We produce our own. We have a copy machine, and we buy the 20-pound yellow paper, just notebook paper, and we tear it off the reams, and we put it in just like regular paper. You just have to line it up, and we make our copies that way. So that's how we do our yellow letters. We do it in-house. We actually have, there's like 9 to 11 people that work here in our office, so we do a lot of stuff in-house. All right. What do your yellow letters say? They say, we buy houses. And some say, we buy houses, and I'm interested in your house. Give me a call. Some are more wordy. It's like you got to get creative with it. The message is we buy houses, though. I mean, you've probably seen it before. We don't try to change the wheel. So yellow letters pretty much say, we're interested in your house and we want to buy your house at 123 Main Street, and so on. Sometimes we don't even put the address. A lot of times it's just a letter that, says we're interested in buying the property. Give me a call, and it doesn't say an exact address. Okay, probate, inherited property, motivated sellers versus regular out-of-state owners. Which niche works for you and Tim in terms of target market? They both work. There is definitely more. I don't necessarily do a lot of out-of-state. I do absentee, which can be people that own a house but don't live in it, and they could be in-state or out-of-state. There's not as many probates as there are of those other type of properties. So, definitely it's in the numbers. So you're going to have more people that are absentee than probate. Have you noticed a difference in the response rate in your yellow letters using red ink versus black ink? I used red ink for a little while when I used a company that did the yellow letters for me. Okay, I just got a message that if you go now to the prosperitygroup.com /membership, it is fixed now, and it is they fixed the $1 thing. I think there was a hiccup in it because it was not reset for the $1 thing. So for tonight, if y'all go sign up right now for tonight, it is fixed for $1. So you get to get in there. The question that I was answering a second ago, the response on yellow letters, red ink versus black ink. I have been using black ink for a while now. I have good results with it. I haven't gone back to trying red ink just because I haven't done it, but I had decent results with red ink. I just know that I use black ink now. All right, guys. I think a lot of these questions are duplicates that I answered. If anybody has any, Shirley and Jesse, yeah, contact Yuvia about that, and she'll check that out for you. If there's anybody else that has any other questions right now, let me know real quick because we're fixing to end this. It was actually supposed to be an hour, and I've run over by about 30 minutes. I'm so sorry about that, guys. Do we have to put our personal phone number on Bandit Sign, or we set up Google Voice or get virtual assistant? You can do it however you want. I've done it with my personal number. I've done it with the Google number, and I've done it with an office number, and I've done it with a virtual assistant. It's however you want. You can set up a Google number just so it's a little harder to track you down, but if again, they are called bandit signs because it's not illegal, but it's not exactly legal though. It is definitely a violation of a sign ordinance, which is an ordinance, not really a law. So, if you want, use a Google Voice so it's a little harder to track you down. All right, guys. Okay. How often do you have a webinar? It depends. You'll definitely get if you got the message for this webinar, you'll definitely get a message on the next webinar. So just keep an eye out for it. This one kind of was in high demand. A lot of people were asking us for this, so I wanted to get this out here to you. I wanted to be able to share what some of our members were doing, share what we got going on. If you missed any of this one, I'm going to try to see if I can get a replay put out there for you, so for the content on here, so you can hear some of the case studies. I don't know if we're going to do the dollar sign up thing on the replay, so I don't know about that, but I definitely want to try to get this content out to you again. If you do not have an office and you work out of your home, is it better to rent an address from UPS store versus putting your home address on the yellow letter as a return address? I would say yes. You could do it either way. I know people that run their business out of their house, but if you can, get a mailbox from the UPS store or something like that, because you never know who's going to try to show up at your door thinking it's an office or thinking that They might be able to get a hold of you somehow, and you really don't want somebody showing up at your door like that. I've never had anybody do that, but you never know. You never. It's better safe than sorry. So if you can get a UPS box, that's probably definitely the way to go. All right, guys, I had a blast tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed it as much as I did. I really enjoyed sharing what some of our members are doing, and I'm so proud of them for doing what they do. So shout outs to Marcelo, Steve and Susan, George, Daniel, and Thomas. Y'all are rocking it. Let's keep going. Let's get more deals done. Let's cash more checks. So guys, like I said, I had a blast. Please keep an eye out for our next webinar, and if we do one that you're interested in, and like I said, go sign up for the Prosperity Group membership. You're not gonna beat that for $1. Check it out. Take it for a test run. You're not gonna be able to get the content that we're giving you for $1 anywhere else. So thanks, guys. Y'all have a great night. And I'll see y'all next time. Later, guys.